I dedicated this podcast to independent artists. I want to give you guys a straight look in the industry, man. Also want to highlight people behind the music scene, business side. When people see people behind the scenes, they don't know who that is.
Lady of the hour, what's going on?
What's poppin'?
How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. I appreciate you jumping on.
Of course. Can you hear me out here?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. Most definitely. So how you doing today?
I'm okay.
Dope, man. So again, welcome to Who's That Podcast, where we interview people behind the scenes that's dope doing that thing. And my goal is to shine light on individuals like yourself, so that way other people can know you and we can give you your flowers while you can still smell them.
Thank you.
Most definitely. So for people who's not familiar, would you give yourself a little bio so we could understand kind of your background?
So right now I'm managing. I'm a managing artist. I'm managing an artist named Aya and Janae. I started out doing a little bit of everything, honestly. Fresh out of college, I was marketing. I started working in DC nightlife, where I met, most of the people that's kind of helping me now and being there for me. Started off as a promo model, actually, for DTLR. So a group of girls, we put on the shirts, we go out to the clubs, we network, we're in the mix, meeting DJs, everybody. So that's kind of where I started. I dabbled off into PR. Realized it wasn't necessarily for me. Went back to marketing. So yeah, now I'm just managing.
Dope. So it seemed like you did a lot of marketing. What made you go to the management versus sticking with just marketing?
Well, I can't really say I'm not marketing anymore. I'm more so just not doing PR.
Gotcha.
So I am still marketing, and I just feel like management is more so for me. I dabbled in everything else, A&R, PR, and management is just where I feel most comfortable.
Most definitely. So
marketing is definitely a huge part of that as well, so.
For sure, most definitely. For sure. So what made you what would make you want to manage somebody? Like I know you say you manage your artist. What would make you want to manage a person?
Ambition and good music. You have good product, you have ambition, you have that work ethic, I'll work with you.
Most definitely. Do you still believe talent is like a key thing, or is it, we know it's a balance of things, but you know how some people be like, talent not really that important now? Do you still believe talent is important?
I think so. I don't know if I'm old school. I was raised in the 90s, so I'm big on talent. I'm big on that good music. I'm big on that feel-good music. I do think the industry now is not, you don't have to have all the talent in the world. You have money, you have a fan base, you have a following, you can go viral, you can get big. It's not always about talent now. But for me, I want to work with talented artists, for sure.
Most definitely. Do you, a lot of artists fake it till they make it. What is your advice on that? Like, do you think you should put on a persona to get to a certain place, or you should just stay authentic?
Stay authentic. Stay authentic, because you're going to have to keep that up. You know what I mean? And at some point, you can't fake it no more, So you got to an extent, I guess, fake it till you make it, You got to look at the clothes, the shoes, whatever you got to do, but still stay authentic, as much as you can, because that's going to run out.
Most definitely. Tell us some, like a challenge you overcame. I know as management, you face a lot of things trying to get your artists through the door, maybe taking meetings you probably don't feel like taking, or just doing things that may be inconvenient at a certain time. Tell us a challenge you overcame with the management stuff.
I don't really know about a challenge in the management, but a challenge I feel like I face, period, in this music industry, being a woman.
Talk about it.
Male-dominated industry. You come across a lot of people who aren't as serious as you. And if they are serious, they kind of want to dangle things over you to kind of see what they can get, if they can get a date, or, so I feel like I deal with a lot of people who pretend like they're serious, and then when I'm around them, the conversation shifts to something that's not music. So I think that's the number one, the number one challenge that I face. So
most definitely. How do you maneuver through that? Like, how do you kind of get through that?
I just keep going. You just keep going. It's really no way around it. You never really can tell if somebody's intentions are pure right out the gate until you really like sit down with them and really get to talking to them. So just keep going. Let your work speak for itself. That's pretty much the place I'm at now. Kind of just getting results and letting that speak for me, so I can be taken more seriously. So
most
just gotta put in that work.
For sure. I think that's a perfect way to put it as far as just being taken serious. I interview a lot of Black women executives, and they say the same thing, you know, just keep working, let your work show. So I think that's a great thing and a great way to put it. For up and coming female manager, what advice would you kind of give them, somebody that's trying to get in your position?
Be tenacious. Don't stop. You know, don't get discouraged. You know, I definitely, you know, have those moments. I think we all do. But
Yeah.
keep going. You just really have to keep going. You have to believe in yourself. You know, I believe your your perception, it creates your reality. So as long as you see that vision for yourself and you see yourself there, just really don't stop. Keep going. Keep knocking through those roadblocks. Eventually, you'll meet serious people who do
Mm-hmm.
just want to work, whether that's male or female. I have come across some males who are serious, you know, who do just want to work. So just keep going, honestly.
Most
You
definitely.
really just can't stop.
For sure. Do you have because getting your position, I'm pretty sure you had guidance of some sort. Or well, let me ask you, did you have any guidance of some sort to get in your position?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So there's a number of people who I feel like helped me, you know,
Mm-hmm.
get to where I am, or, you know, gave me some knowledge or put me in certain rooms, you know, to be like that fly on the wall, to get, you know, that experience. So, so many. From Frank Johnson from Baltimore, who,
Frank, yeah, 300. Yeah.
yeah, hired me to do the record breaker internship that I was doing, to DJ 24, you know, from out here. He kind of, you know, gave me my DTLR, you know, start, to people like Jay and Dino, who allowed me to kind of like be a fly on the wall, to, so many people. If I missed you, you know who you are, and thank you. But
Most
yeah, so many people. So many people.
most definitely. How did you because that's another thing too. People trying to figure out how to get in them rooms to even get a mentor. What's some ways that you was able to meet with some of these people?
I would say being outside, as we call it
Being
now.
outside.
Yeah, being in the mix.
For sure.
So definitely when I was 18, when I was old enough to get into the clubs,
Mm,
I started working in the clubs. So
definitely.
like I said, as a DTLR model, and that's where I did meet, you know, people like Jay and Dino and Quicksilvers of the world, you know, just being in the mix and talking to people. You can't be afraid to go up to people and talk to people and network. So definitely being outside, being in the mix, all these events, pop-up shops, you know, wherever you can be, just meet those people, and you never know who might take you under their wing and, you know, see something in you.
Most definitely. So, to some sort, as a person, you gotta go outside in some type of form of fashion. A lot of people are a little more, you know, inclusive. They might not like being outside as much. You know what I'm saying? So, what advice would you give them to kind of get out there, shell, to kind of, you know, get somebody or meet somebody of that nature?
Um, I'm not sure there's a way around it. I know myself, I'm a big homebody.
Yeah.
I'm not a big outside person, so I did have to kind of step out of my comfort zone, whether sometimes that's bringing a friend with me, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to come out to kind of be
A
with
good
me.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah, and have them with me. Like my best friend, for example, I kind of drag her everywhere with me. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe bring somebody that makes you more comfortable, and kind of just force yourself to step out of that comfort zone, you know, because sitting in your house on your couch, you know, you're not really gonna meet the people you need to meet or get the exposure. So if you're not a big outside person, try to find maybe 1 or 2 days out the week where you can be an outside person. You don't got to be in the mix every day.
Yeah, for
But
sure. Most definitely. It's been an influx of female artists in the last past, I want to say like 3 years. It's always been female artists, but like it's been a lot of female artists. How do you feel about that movement? You know, the influx of dope female artists that's finally getting like
mhm. I love it.
most definitely.
I love it. I'm here for it. And right now, I'm focusing a lot more on the female artists. A lot
Hmm.
of my history are, you know, with male artists,
Yeah,
rappers. So I am focusing more on the female artists. My artists right now are all female. So
mhm,
I'm so here for it. I
for
love it.
sure. Most definitely. Yeah, I think that's dope, man. I think females are finally getting their just due. There's still a lot of things to be done, you know, as far as equal opportunity and stuff that nature, getting paid the same, whatever. But I still think they're doing a great job at it. But I do notice a lot of times the media will put two females against each other to kind of like, I guess, some kind of take each other out. What are your advice on that for up and coming female artists, not to kind of get into that? How do they stay in their lane as far as just making music and having fun?
Um, my advice on not getting caught up in the rivalry, or
Yeah, in the BS.
just stay focused on yourself. Don't be your sister's hater. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, we're all sisters at the end of the day. Don't
yeah,
bring that woman down, hate on that woman, or even entertain, you know, such rivalry or beef. If you don't know this person, you don't have any real beef with this person, you know why. Let these outside people create this rivalry and beef. Come work together. Put them on your song. Get on their song. You know, make it a thing.
Yeah.
But I would just say don't entertain it. For sure.
Most
Focus
definitely.
on yourself.
For sure. What you're originally from DC?
I am. Well, I was born in Alexandria, but I was raised in DC. I left Virginia when I was 2, so really all I know is DC.
For sure. How has DC had like a effect on you? Because DC is pretty big in music, culture. You know, you guys are pretty different from everybody else in the world up there. Y'all in your own little world up there. How's that had an impact on you?
I would just say the culture period. I come from a very musical family. My mom had an internship to be an A&R. My grandma, you know, has an ear in music. My father sings, you know, he's from Brooklyn, but, you know, he has that in him. So just from the go-go to all the legends we had come out of DC, like Chuck Brown, Johnny Gill, Tank, Maya, Genuine, so many people that come from here, you know, like, we have so many greats from here, like just growing up in that mix and in that environment, you know, driving down the street as a kid, hearing that go-go blasting or going to these events, you know, it rubs off on you and it's, you know, it's really a part of, you know.
Most definitely. What has, because I do notice DC, y'all had a lot of greats, but when it comes to like music, it's still not an influx of DC artists that's really mainstream right now. Even though if you go to DC, it's some hella people that's popping, but the world really don't know about them like that. Why do you think, you know, it's not more mainstream DC artists?
I don't know. I don't know if we don't want to work with each other as much up here as we need to. I definitely notice a little bit of that. You know, I never want to shit on my city, but I do notice we kind of don't bond together and band together as much as we should or could, or, you know, other cities do.
Yeah.
So maybe that plays a big part in it, but I'm personally still trying to understand why, you know, because it is so many great artists here, from the artists I work with, from the artists that I like here. It's so many, you know, so when you know, let me.
Facts. Yeah, when I figure it out, I'll let you know if I send some up your way.
You gotta fix that.
Most definitely. Yeah, because I see that, like, if you go to DC, there's a lot of popular artists there. You know what I'm saying? Just like they're not mainstream. I'm not sure because, like, maybe the world hasn't adopted to the go-go sound. Maybe only certain people kind of like that, but I still think DC artists should be bigger than what they are. Shout some
because there's so many artists doing, you know, music. It's not the go-go sound, you know.
Facts.
So of course we're home of go-go, but we have so many artists who don't do go-go. We got real spitters and real, you know, singers and, you know, that don't do it. So
most definitely.
You know,
what's some for people that don't know, what's some up and coming DC artists that you want to give a shout out to?
So I would say Janae Music, you know, from Southeast. That's one of my artists right now. She's doing her thing. I like a guy named Prezi. You know, he's from out here. He's doing his thing. Tacino, doing his thing. Sincerely Don's doing his thing. Flex Cartel's doing his thing. So
shout out.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Shout out to all those women. Oh, for sure, yeah. Like, look forward to hearing you guys' music. So, what's next for you? What do you got? What do you guys got coming up?
For me, my artist, or just DC period?
Well, for your artist and for you.
So my artist Aya, she's from North Carolina. She frequents here a lot. You know, she has family here. She's about to perform at the Chronic Palooza next month. She's going to open up all-female headliners, so that's going to be super dope.
They got all-female headliner?
All-female headliners.
That's crazy. That's major.
Yeah, Trina should be in the building, so that's going to be dope. She has a song called Good Vibes. That's going viral right now, so check that out. It's viral on TikTok. Everybody's streaming it. Jada Pinkett, Khloe Kardashian, Tamara Mowry. Yeah, it's a fire record. So she's doing her thing. Janae's doing her thing as well. We just shot a visual that we should be dropping soon. We're working on a lot of content for her. We're about to do some radio. She's in Atlanta right now, doing her thing. And for me, just really building my management company, really just developing my artists, you know, getting them where they need to be and, you know, plugging them, you know, with who they need to be with.
Most definitely. As a manager, what have you learned? What do you think been the biggest lesson for you? I didn't even call it a loss or some hardship. What's been the biggest lesson that you learned just being a manager?
That every artist you work with is going to be different, and they're going to need different things at different times. So you kind of just have to be flexible and available and adapt to, you know, whatever city you got to go to or whatever room you got to be in. So just really understanding that all your artists are going to be different and need different things, and they're all at different points. You might work with this artist who just started and they really have nothing, and you got to really build them from scratch. And you might have this artist who's super lit and popping, and you know, you don't really got to do too much. So
most definitely, I think that's a great way to put that, far as just having balance. How do you not show favoritism to? Because like a lot of times I see some artists are pop way for everybody else, and they the main person. You know what I'm saying? So how would you, just advice on somebody that's trying to come up and they happen to run into a situation? How would you not be showing favoritism to one person that may be having a little more attraction than everybody else on the team? What's some advice on that?
Well, I personally don't show favoritism between my artists. I feel like I love my artists all equally. I feel like if I take you on as an artist, I believe in you just as much as I believe in my last artist. I'm going to push you just as much as I'm pushing, you know, the next artist, whether you're as far as them or not. I'm going to see what I can do to kind of get you, you know, get you there. I'm never going to post one artist more than I post the next, or push one artist more than I push the next. You know, I really love my artists all the same.
Most definitely, most definitely. For an up-and-coming female manager, what's some advice you would give them that somebody didn't possibly tell you on your journey?
Take your emotions out of it. That's a hard lesson I had to learn. I'm a naturally emotional person. So really just doing the core work, the soul work of being strong, you know, and really taking your feelings out of it. Because like I said, you're going to meet those people who aren't going to take you serious because you're a female. They want to date you, they'll lie to you, they'll bait you. So really just standing strong, not really letting it get to you, not letting it discourage you, you know, when you run into those things, and just keep going.
How do you, because as a female, I mean, everybody got emotions, but females, sometimes they can be a little more emotional than men for the most part. How do you separate that? Like, what's some advice you got? Would you even separate?
It's rough. It's rough. Personally, for me, I'm big in meditation and things like that. So really just understanding who I am, and really just mastering my emotions. I think it's something we can all do through practice. It definitely takes practice, and it takes a while. I'm definitely still in the journey. I can't say that I've super 100% mastered my emotions, but I'm working on it. And I think as long as you practice that and you catch yourself in those moments, you catch yourself being a little too emotional, bring it back, you know, and next time, you know, work on that. But through practice, I think you can really master your emotions and learn to separate it and understand this is business. This is, you know, it's not.
Because I could imagine if you have an artist, you probably really care for them. You know what I'm saying? You technically giving up yourself for somebody else for the most part. You're putting somebody else before yourself. And it's not your kid. It's somebody you work with. You know what I'm saying? So I could see how it would be hard trying to separate your emotions from business when it's typically, you know, somebody you really care about.
Oh yeah, because you care. For example, like Aya, she's family, you know, for the most part. Her big brother is my baby cousin, you know, through blood. So I do have that, you know, it's a little more personal for her. But at the end of the day, it's business. So we got to get business done. So once we in the rooms, you're no longer my baby cousin. You got to do work. So.
For sure. Most definitely. What's some qualities you think artists should have to be successful from what you've seen working with different people?
Ambition. You got to be tenacious. You got to really go for what you want. If you want it, I don't really feel like there's an excuse, you know, or a reason why not. Ambition. Have quality work. Have quality content.
For sure. Yeah, I think so I think nowadays it's not a certain blueprint you gotta have, but I do think it's quality that everybody who's successful shares. As you can see, you know, good work ethic, some type of budget, like you said, ambition. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's certain quality I think everybody has, but it's kind of tricky nowadays because you'll have somebody with not a lot of talent, and they'll get a song to pop like on TikTok or something, and
Mm-hmm.
they not really talented. They just had a catchy, you know, hook. Then you have a person who been working 30 years, not literally 30, but even putting in work a minute. He's just not a social media guy or social media girl, and they talented. They just can't get that shit to pop, man. So it's just like in 2022, it's really tricky when it comes to artists and putting out music, because now it's really strategic. It's not so much about your talent. You got to be talented, but I see people who not talented make it for other people that's
Yeah.
talented. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And that's where that hustle comes in, that
Yeah.
ambition, that, you know, being tenacious. That's where that comes in. If you don't have the most talent, you better be outworking a man that does. You know, you
For
better
sure.
be up way before him, out later than him,
For sure.
working way harder. You know, you better really be pushing it. And like you said, there's people out here doing that necessarily doesn't have all the talent in the world, but they're outworking. You
Yeah.
know, they're outworking you and your
Yeah.
talent. So of course they're gonna get a little bit further than you. They say
For
hard
sure.
work beats talent in the end of the day. So.
Man, any day I tell people that every time, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Hard work beat talent any day, because you got talent. A lot of times you got talent. You might not think like practice. You might think you ain't got to practice a lot because you got talent. But the dude that's in the gym all day, he gonna
Exactly.
beat you
Exactly.
every time. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
think that's a great way to put it. How important is team? Like team is, to me, it's really big. From your perspective, how important is team?
I think it's so important. I think you really need a team for everything. I'm learning that myself
Yeah.
as someone who really tried to do it all. You know, I was artist's manager, A&R, PR, everything, and it weighs on you.
Yeah.
And I think you definitely can get much further and be way more productive with a team. You know,
Yeah.
have this person that's excellent at this person that's excellent at that, this person that's excellent at that, and y'all come together and can really do great stuff. But it's so beneficial. It's so beneficial. And if you're one of those people who really don't have a team, try to build it. Even if it's your sister, your brother, your mama, see how they can kind of help you so you're not
Mhm.
doing everything by yourself. But I
Come on.
think teams are so very necessary.
How do you get yourself out of? Because I'm that type of person. I like to do everything myself too.
Mm-hmm.
With some like, because I'm like, bro, I'm only one gonna do it right. I know.
Yep.
Let me do it. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? How did you? I share my way. I got it. How did you get out there? Like giving people just like, all right, I'm gonna let you do this. How did you get past that?
Just really realizing that I can't do it all.
Yeah.
Really realizing that I'm one person, and to really make it, it takes a lot. You know,
Yeah.
it takes a team. You do need a great manager. You need PR. You need, you know, that team. So just really accepting the fact that I can't do it all, because I'm definitely one of those people who don't want to ask for help. You
Yeah.
know, I feel like I got it. You know, I can do it, but just realizing when I do allow people to help, how much further we get. You know, and how much more we get done when I do allow other people to kind of come in.
For sure.
So,
I think the same thing. I looked at it like, all right, I'm gonna compare the results. Me doing it myself, me having a team do it. The team goes way farther than by yourself, and you're not killing yourself. Like a lot of times we put so much on ourselves to get it done. You stay up 24 hours a day,
yeah.
you dead tired. Like you could have just got somebody else to do it for you.
Exhausted, yeah. Now
You know
you
what I'm
have
saying?
nothing to give anybody because you need to
Exactly.
sleep.
You
So
dead tired. You can't even get up. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
So
big on delegating tasks to other people.
yeah.
I'm so big on it.
Yeah, I had to learn that, man, because I'm like, I just feel like people not gonna do it right. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yep,
When I
it's like
learned,
the right team.
yeah, exactly. That's why I said team is super, super important, man. Just having the right people around you. And not only for delegation, but also just motivation, keeping yourself going. Because a lot of times we have days, especially as a manager, I can only imagine, you know, the days you might have because everybody's looking at you to kind
Mm-hmm.
of figure this shit out. You know, your artist looking at you like, what we gonna do?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So having that right team around you, giving you that motivation you need, you know, while you're on your journey, I think that's super important. Who do you go to when things are kind of getting rocky for you? Like, who do you look towards?
Honestly, my best friend. My best friend.
Shout out your best friend. She shouted you out
Shout out
like
to my
30
best
times.
friend, Danya.
For
Follow
sure.
her, Danya Marie. I go to her for everything. She's my assistant. She is my therapist. She is everything. She's the person, like I said, I drag out with me to
Yeah,
these events and clubs and stuff when I don't really want to go by myself. If I need content done, she's there. She's getting the behind the scenes. So really just having a solid person, even if it's one person next to you that's always there for you. You know what I mean?
hmm,
Just having that person. So definitely her. And then my mom as well. Like I said, she's big in music, so I can always go to her. She has an ear. I'm always playing songs first. So
For sure.
yeah.
Most definitely. What's some advice you would give somebody that's kind of like down on their luck, like been trying this music shit for I don't know how long, still not working. You know, they on that verge of giving up. What was some advice you would give them?
I would say before you give up, take a step back and kind of lay it all on the table and really look at what you're doing and
Yeah.
see if maybe you can do something differently. See if maybe you're doing something wrong.
Ooh.
See if you're working backwards in
Yeah.
circles. I know me before I was working in circles, working backwards before I really knew what to do. So sometimes
Mhm.
you can be working backwards. So you might have to assess it and analyze it from, like an outside and see what you can do different. See if you're doing something wrong. See if you can get help before you give up, because you never know. Your break might be tomorrow. Your song might go viral tomorrow. So,
Most definitely. I think you said some key important things
mhm.
in that and what you just said. Take a step back because a lot of times we don't analyze things if we in it. You know what I'm saying? If you in it, you really can't see past your feet type thing because you in it. You know what I'm saying? Versus if you take a step back and you analyze the entire situation, a lot of times you can get a different perspective. And then, like you said, this might not be the position for you. You know, you might not be a good artist. You might be a better manager, or vice
Exactly.
versa. Or you might just be better at something else in music. You know what I'm saying? I think music has so many positions, but people only see, certain things. The artists, you don't really see so many people behind the scenes, which is why I'm doing this podcast because there's a million people behind the scenes that's actually
Yeah.
making shit happen for these artists to get them through that door.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Same for me. Like I said, I started off wanting to just do marketing, and then I thought I was just going to be an A&R, and then I
Yeah,
thought I was just going to do PR, and then I really found my home in management. So if being an artist just really isn't working out, and you still love the music,
yeah,
find an artist for you to push. You know what I mean? Maybe become a
yeah,
manager and push that artist, or like find some other lane. Because like you said, there's so many lanes from DJing to
yeah,
executive to, so you can still, be in the mix and in the industry and in the world, without necessarily being an artist. And if you really feel like in your heart you're an artist and you really don't want to do anything else and that's really your calling, just
yeah,
don't stop. Because I don't feel like that's what be on your heart for nothing.
yeah, yeah.
So if that's really, 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 really what you want to do, you'll make a way. You'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I
I
really
think
feel
the
like
same thing. Even if it's not your main thing right now, if you truly love something, you don't really care about the money anyway. If you truly, truly love it, you know what I'm saying? It's truly a passion for you. Of course, you would like to get paid from it, but you'll do it for free,
oh
you know.
yeah,
And
I've
so,
done so much free.
yeah, most
Almost
definitely.
everything leading up to now for me was free work, but I didn't mind it because of the knowledge that I've gained from it and the relationships I was able to build from it. So I
Yeah,
think a lot of times we miss out on blessings because it's not a
yeah,
paycheck attached to it.
man. What? Yeah, I'm telling you, like, I see a lot of times nowadays people don't really want to work for free. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, man, how you really gonna learn if you're not
That
working for free? Like somebody already on that about to pay you a ton of money or pay you at all if they already in a position where they don't really need you.
exactly,
So you gotta prove to yourself that you actually an asset to the
exactly.
situation. You know what I'm
What are you
saying?
to the table? Exactly.
Yeah,
I
like
was begging
exactly.
people to just let me be a fly on the wall for no money.
Yeah,
I just be in the room so I can learn.
yeah,
And it, just doing that taught me so much. I'm flying myself to these places on my dime, but
yeah,
it ended up benefiting me in the long run because I either met a person there,
yeah.
that is a big part of what I have going on now, or so
Most
it's not
definitely.
always about the check up front. Of course, you want your money, but work to that.
Yeah, for sure. And then it's gonna be a bigger check on the other end
Exactly.
if you do work for it. The money you make now probably be pennies compared to
Exactly.
what you can make, or you'll cut yourself short and take the small check and then you leave a bigger one on the table. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a perfect way to put it, man. How can we follow you? How can we support you? What you have with your artists and stuff?
Um, you can follow my music page at WMLLC Music. That's where I basically live now. That's where I'm posting all the music stuff, all my management stuff. My personal page, Wan Carmen _. Follow my artist, Aya. That's AYAH. The Light spelled normally. Janae Music, JANAE Music. Yeah, follow us there.
For sure, for sure. Most definitely, man. I appreciate having you. I wish you much success. I support you any way that I can. You're doing your thing, man. Continue to be great. I love what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Like anything you need, let me know.
For sure. Appreciate you. Enjoy your weekend.
You too.
All right.